Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are playing Serena. And to be quite frank, what I thought about before starting today is I should have started it always with saying the title in a different way, because Serena, or whatever, we could mingle it in so many ways, and I still do not know which version is the correct one. Let's go with Serena, of course. Anywho, it's supposed chapter 1, Act 1, which I do not remember the name of. And apparently after loading the game I cannot scroll back, which I guess is fine for. Alright, let's go. It was the first day I spent this place in this new Jap. I couldn't sleep a wink because it all seemed so strange compared to the humbler and simpler life I had led before. I might be incorrect, but I think this painting here that we have over the couch is a character from one of the games, probably previous games of Eroraen. I was surrounded by strangers, in a gigantic mansion flaunting opulence. I shook my head trying to clear my mind and started to get dressed. Suddenly someone knocked on the door.
Edgar? May I come in?
Sure, come in. Ray entered with a sheet of paper in his hand, which he placed on the table.
I have some documents that you should read and sign. You know, just paperwork. I also bring a little note with your obligations for now. To give you an idea of your duties, now that you are working for Miss Serena. I expect a lot from you, boy.
Thanks, Raymond, thanks. I don't know if it's a good thing that you expect much from me, for I don't know about that. I kinda don't want to disappoint you. Anyway, I tried to thank him for his help and sympathy.
Call me Ray, I already told you.
He smiled at me in a friend. That was not his voice in the previous episode, I think. Call me Ray. Whatever.
I'll let you finish getting ready, but one last thing. Edgar? As you know, your main duty and the reason you're here is your blood.
I know! I haven't forgotten that detail.
Perfect. I've brought the necessary equipment to extract a small amount from you.
Huh?
Both for Miss Serena and to check your health. No problem, right?
Not at all, yeah. No problem at all. Zero, null, nothing.
I see you are still a bit skeptical about the lady's condition, huh?
Well, I've never seen anyone who needs to drink blood to survive.
It's understandable, but why did you let the lady tell you everything?
Serena asked nervously, considering that her attitude towards me was so elusive.
Who else?
She just doesn't seem very willing to get along with me. I wouldn't say that. It was at the ending, she was just exhausted. I doubt she'll want to talk.
That's why we're here, mate. Don't despair and please don't leave her to herself.
He sentenced me before turning and closing the door. What do you mean sentenced? I want to spend time with her.
But I'll be waiting for you when you're ready in the main hall.
He shouted as he walked down the corridor. I wonder how tough it is to find locations in this mansion. If I were given a map, I have no problems. If I walked through it just once, well, that's a problem. I will not remember places. I remember at my university... basically at the work where I had to be for 2 months to basically complete the university, right? They gave us a quick tour, right? and then kind of expected to remember where to go. I did not remember. I would get lost and so on. At least on the first day. Later it was okay. Like once you walk around a few times, I will remember obviously, but I also did not remember the names of people. Yeah. I think one guy who was literally in the same room as me, I was like waiting for like a week or two until someone said his name to him, you know, calling him out. I'm like, now I know. Anyway, he shouted as he walked down the corridor. I guess that's how it's gonna. I guess that's gonna be how it's gonna be from today onwards. Now I must read the papers labeled "Finish dressing." I mean, technically finish dressing, but let's read the papers. Before she finished getting ready, I went over the table where Ray left the documents and notes. I glanced over them. Warnings about liability, occupational hazards, health insurance. Nice! I put my signature without caring too much. I would read that. I put those sheets aside and took the note with my duties. Okay, that's a little disappointing. You know, the fact that it's not actually written on that sheet of paper. Welcome, Edgar Bright. You've been hired to, as you may be aware, supply your blood to Miss Serena. In addition to that, you must take care of her by attending to her needs. From protecting her from any risk, threat, or even from the light itself. Looking after her health is as important as looking after your own. Okay. The cleaning and kitchen staff will take care of most of the daily chores. Obviously you can contribute to it, but that's not why you're here. Because considering the kind of person you are, we think it's perfect question for you to have a more special goal. Okay? You should get close to Serena and be with her. Give her company and try to make sure she can enjoy herself as much as possible. It is something I could only ask you, Edgar. If you wish to know more, you should ask the lady. Good luck, Raymond. That was not his voice, but it's fine. At times like this, I wonder what kind of job I have just accepted. A good one. A good one. But, well... It's getting late, I better finish dressing. I quickly tidied my clothes, combed my hair, and cleaned my shoes. Once I had everything ready, I went out in the corridor in search of Ray. I don't know where the main hall he mentioned was, but it shouldn't be too difficult to find, right? Let's go. Once I went out in the corridors, no one was there. Ray wasn't there, nor was Serena. No staff either. I thought nothing of it and made my way awkwardly to the large main hall where they were waiting for me. After handing over and signing some extra paperwork, I was taken to a more secluded room. I sat quietly and followed the direction I was given. It was the moment when I was supposed to give my blood. Nevertheless, I was there for it. I shouldn't be surprised. I like that it's like, you know, they're actually showing progress of the blood going. Okay. A wet cotton wool pad was placed on my arm to facilitate the search for veins. Okay. After this, and with my null knowledge of medicine, I sensed that some kind of tube had been inserted into me. Perhaps I prefer to not know so much about it. In any case, the blood began to flow, slowly advancing through the transparent tube until it fell into a glass cup, like the one someone would use to drink wine. I didn't ask questions. I knew why I was there, and I knew what it was all for.
How do you feel, mate?
He asked me with some concern. I feel fine. Why do you ask?
We're collecting a lot of blood from you. It's normal to ask, isn't it?
What do you mean a lot? I guess so, but I'm feeling okay. I smiled jokingly at him.
Understood. But once we're done here, go back to your room and rest.
Alright, I'll do it. Do you have some chocolate for? Is that thing outside? I mean, in Poland you always get chocolate. If you are like donating blood, to be honest. Not when your blood is taken for the tests for. Wait, okay. The day had just started and I didn't feel like waiting for or lying down. But if that's what I have to do, there is no other way. Also, I'm not sure. But where the needle is, did he have that mark there? I'm not sure. Anyway,
ready, you're free to go. Get up carefully.
Ray indicated as he helped me out of my seat.
Can you go to the room on your own?
I've already told you it's okay.
Then go, kid. Make sure you replenish your fluids and get some rest.
I left Ray and the nurse in that room while I was straight to my bedroom. Or so I tried to, from my vague memory of the path, of course. Once I arrived, I lay down on the soft bed. I was feeling fine, but I was slowly starting to feel very tired. I guess it's because of the blood loss. Yeah. Since I have nothing better to do, I'll just close my eyes for a moment. And when I opened my eyes again, it was already late afternoon. I could hear the birds singing to bid farewell to the day and mark the arrival of dusk, more like making unnecessary noise. I got up slowly, a little dizzy. I was supposed to be fine until just a moment ago, and I sighed. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. I stood up and went outside. I was walking for a long time, in those unfamiliar corridors. Almost as if in a dream-like experience, the warm light of the sunset tinged the atmosphere with melancholy. As if I had already experienced this feeling of loneliness and false sadness before I continued. Looking at the paintings. The statuettes that decorated the pillars. I was looking at everything around me. But what struck me the most was there was no one there. There was nothing. Not a single sound, not a single voice. Beyond my footsteps walking on the red velvet of the carpet, there was nothing else. I walked aimlessly as I let my instinct and imagination guide me. Until a strong gust of wind broke my trance. One of the nearby windows was open, and I could hear the sound of the curtains fluttering in the breeze. I went to look for that window without expecting that, of all the places, she would be there. When I arrived, she was looking at the landscape while at times she held her hair. She kept that sad and absent expression. Like the first time we met. Fixed on the horizon. Away from here. The air caressed her hair and it made it sway in a captivating and majestic scene. I don't know why her eyes were trying to hide that pain. The story that perhaps will never be told by her lips, but will be told by her gaze. Here you are, she said way of greeting, as if she had been looking for me. Indeed, here I am. Ready to serve you? I jokingly replied with a mock bow. I see you had a good rest. She sighed and paused briefly. That relieves me. Oh, were you worried about me? Absolutely not. She became nervous at my question, although she tried to hide it. I'm fine. I already survived a gunshot. Wait, so we were actually shot with... What? Wow. I totally thought it was just a punch, and the shot was not at him at all. Losing a little more blood is not a problem. Even so, don't exert yourself, okay? At your service. I said so she wouldn't worry too much. Maybe this is a good time to talk to her. Ask about her condition. What are you doing here? We'll not ask about the condition yet. I think it's too early for that. What are you doing here? So what were you doing here? Me? I was simply watching the sunset. Isn't it beautiful and sad at the same time? I'm gonna say of course. It is. I get what you mean, even if I prefer the night, but of course. Without doubt, sunsets are always melancholic. Yes, indeed, yes. They always buff the atmosphere in the place with their nostalgic light. Perhaps they also color our own memories and make them sadder than they really were. Or maybe not. She told me with a certain depth in her gaze, lost in the clouds. Okay, so we have to ask about that condition of hers. I know I saved, I just do that always. Hey, Serena. Yes? I would like to ask you about your condition. My condition? What do you want to know? Why do you need blood to survive? Dude, do you not need blood in your body to survive? Okay. Why do you need blood to survive? I understand that someone needs a transfusion because something is wrong with them, but I have never heard of a case like yours. I understand that. It is normal for you to be puzzled or find it hard to believe. But it is the truth. And now I need your blood to live. You see, as far as I know, I was born with this condition. My mother died after giving birth to me. It was my father who raised me until I was a child. Until? I've always been a weak girl, just like my mother. The sunlight made me weak, as if I were allergic to it. Whoa. I guess I inherited it from her. Or at least that's what I've been told since I never met her. And about the blood. It is the only way for me to get stronger and to extend my life. Obviously I can eat and drink like an ordinary person. But I will always need someone else's blood to survive. Don't you think it's kind of sad? I'm like a parasite. You just described every single human, to be fair. But... okay, you are not, girl. Oh, there is only one page? Oh boy. It's funny how it's Spanish, I think. You are not a parasite, woman. You are not. Well, we all need others to live, don't we? Kind of. Your case is simply more delicate and special. Don't think that way about yourself, because that thought, that's a parasite, not you. Do you think so? I find it hard to believe. But I appreciate your good intention, Edgar. Thank you. I more or less understand how important my blood is to you. Although I still have doubts about all of this. We can't expect to understand everything in a moment. True. Don't despair. I would like to ask you something else. I'm listening. How have you fed yourself so far? How's your life in the mansion? Was there anyone else before me? Oh no, I don't want to ask that. I don't want anyone else to be here before me. How's your life in the mansion? Let's go with that. My life here? Yes, I want to know what your day-to-day life is like. I've never been out of this place too much. I usually get up, take a shower, take a small dose if I feel thirsty. I've always enjoyed reading all the books in the library. Or take care of the plants in the vivarium. And I don't really have much more to say. A bit disappointing, isn't it? What about your father? Do you have any friends? Or... No. My father never comes here. What's his address? I'm gonna drag him here. And I've never had any friends. I have always been alone. And I imagine it will always be like this. Where's the option I will stay with you? I want to say it. How have you fed yourself so far? How have you been feeding yourself all this time? Feeding myself? It is both simple and complex. But just to give you an idea, the employees of the mansion are the ones who offer me the blood. I've never asked where it comes from, or from what or who it is. I just take it, and I don't ask too many questions. We have some stocks in bottles, but the best is fresh blood. It is rare to find people compatible with my metabolism. And when that happens, they tend not to endure for very long. What do you mean? They end up dropping out, ceasing to be compatible or... She paused slightly. Deteriorating. That's why you have to follow the medical advice you're given, okay? I know. Alright. We could say goodbye, but... This was pretty much answered already, but still, let's go. Was there anyone else before me? There were more subjects, like me before, weren't there? You know, the ones where you take the blood and... Yes. There were. And what happened to them? They left. Some because they started to hate the job. Others due to fatigue. And others because... they became weak. Weak? Constant blood loss can weaken any living thing, Edgar. Yeah. That's why you had to sign some documents today, didn't you? Haven't you read them? Of course. Yes. But I feel fine. They said that too. The people who came here before you. You. Just take care of yourself and protect your health. And maybe, when you reach your limit, that's when we will say goodbye to each other. I kept quiet so as not to take the issue any further. I wanted to discuss everything she said, but on the other hand, I still didn't know anything. How can I talk about something I don't know about? Obviously, I won't tell her with all the fervor of my being that I had no intention of leaving. Everything she was saying was just pessimism. But I couldn't do that. Not yet. Okay, goodbye then. Anyway, it's getting late. I think I should get something to eat and go back to my room. Do you mind if I go now? Oh, of course not. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Alright. There are still things I want to know, and according to Ray, I have to take care of you. So don't think you're rid of me. I don't. I always try to have low expectations. And that means not having too many illusions. See you tomorrow, Serena. I walked away as I said goodbye to her. But she remained silent. I was somewhat annoyed by the pessimism in her attitude, but I think I understand why she would be like that. But I understood that maybe Serena couldn't have a different opinion, because of everything she has been through so far. And that made me want to stay here, and keep digging and get to know her. I had an intuition that she was someone special. Yeah? Someone worth knowing. Yeah? I definitely agree. Morning came and with it a new day. I yawned enthusiastically. How do you yawn enthusiastically? What? And dressed bravely. I really wanted to start doing 1,000 things as I was feeling better. With more energy. So without thinking twice, I went out into the corridor. I looked for Serena so I could talk to her, but I couldn't find her anywhere. Act 2. Wounded Heart. Although I've been looking for her, I could not find her. I wandered through the various areas of the mansion. I searched in every corner. Nothing. I didn't know where she had gone. I asked Ray and some of the staff, but nobody could answer me. I can't sleep. I think I'll go for a walk. I cleared my throat with some water before leaving, trying to make as little noise as possible. I didn't want to wake anyone in the case others were sleeping. So I decided to walk outside. Let's go. Wow. Now that's why you don't want to live in the city. Wow. Being able to feel the night breeze caressing my skin relaxed me. I know the area, so I was careful not to get lost. Still, I enjoyed being able to sink my shoes into the ground. Being able to caress the leaves of the trees. Listening to the silence of nature. And to delight myself with the sea of stars that crowned the night sky. It cleared my mind of doubts and unnecessary things. Or so I thought. Because I kept thinking about where Serena might be. Why didn't anyone seem to care? Did they know where she was but didn't want to tell me? Was it something usual or a secret? I didn't know. I still didn't know anything. However, I was only a guest. And by the words of that girl, my presence here is as thin as the leaves of a deciduous plant. Knowing this was something that bothered me. I clenched my fist tightly after remembering that. But I want to do something. If everyone else chooses to look the other direction, I can do it. I can't change the world, but maybe I can change hers. I said to myself, remembering the sad expression she always seemed to have. Why is her view of light so pessimistic? Has she had such a bad time? Yeah? Come on, man. Really? With what she told you? Has she suffered so much? I wish I could do something, but I sighed. I would just like to see her again. I reached the edge of the cliff and stopped for a few minutes to look at the horizon. When all of a sudden my eyes stopped on something. Or rather on someone? Serena was there. Just as I found her yesterday, lost in thought. Why didn't she show up today? Why does she insist so much on running away and isolate herself? What does she seem to be so afraid of? What are you doing here? She said, half surprised, as if she was suspicious of me. I mean, I went on a walk. I'm lost. I was looking for you. Make a joke. I was looking for you. Let's go with that. I was looking for you. I couldn't see you today, and I didn't know where you were. I was worried, and I couldn't sleep. So I decided to go out and look for you. Why would anyone do something like that? I wonder about that too, you know. Because after all, we don't know each other. It just makes you stranger. Do you always look for and care about people who you have just met? Not at all. Not at all. But for a pretty girl like you, I make an exception. I said, joking and without malice. Hey! She remained quiet, but from her reaction she didn't expect me to respond like that. Baka! Well, are you going to tell me what a girl like you is doing in a place like this? I always want to say something like that sometime in my life. She didn't want to answer. Why did you show up at the mansion today? Did you not want to see me again? No. It's nothing like that. So why do you seem to be running away and hiding? I don't. It's just... She took a breath of air. Never mind. I'd rather not talk about it now. Alright, I'm not gonna be pushy. Because that's a bad idea. Eventually, hopefully, she will open up. Let it be. Are you sure? Yes. To be honest with you, I'm curious to know what's going on in your situation. Why? I don't know. My intuition tells me you need help. Or maybe it's because I can't ignore someone like you. Someone like me? What do you mean? Wow. Do you want to know? I'm not very sleepy. We could sit and talk a bit, couldn't we? She waved up her response. Alright, let's have a chat. You're pretty pushy, you know that? That's a good thing, right? She let out a pleasant laugh. Yeah, I guess so. Come on, sit down. I moved a little closer to her and after moving a few stones aside, I sat down on the ground. So, tell me, what do you want to know? Everything. I want to know everything. I'm totally gonna be saving. What are you hiding? From me. I already told you, I'm not hiding. I'm just a bit scared. What are you scared of? To get along with you. Oh, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Because if she gets attached and so on, but with all the things going around, we might still want to leave. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But also, now that I think about it, who said that, like, kind of quitting this job means not still being around for her? That makes sense. Of course it makes sense what I just said. Anyway. And when you leave, I'll miss you. For your information, I have no intention of leaving. Did you know that? That is not something you decide. At least not entirely. What happens if you get sick like everyone else and have to give up? That won't happen. I'm great. Have you seen me? Wow. I raised my arm to play the strongman. And she's like, wow. No muscles. You may be now, but what about tomorrow? What would happen if... Then, I'll think of something tomorrow. The point is, I'm fine now, so why are you so worried? Because I've always been alone. I can't go out like other people. I have to confine myself here, where I can be cared for if I fall ill or faint. Where I get my food and medicine. I depend on many people. And yet I have been completely alone for as long as I can remember. The few people who came here never stayed long enough. When I got along well with someone, I was rejected or abandoned without notice. That's why I'm afraid. I mean, it completely makes sense. I'm afraid of being fond of someone. Has this ever happened to you? Yeah. Me? Yeah, of course it happened to me. And it doesn't hurt you? Of course it hurts. You can experience incredible things with someone, and from one day to the next they disappear. The memories you spend with that person. The laughter and tears. Everything eventually fades into oblivion. But it is something we cannot control. It is something that is sometimes unavoidable. We all have a time limit on this world, you know that. I know, but... Don't you think it's better to squeeze every second we have available? Take risks, make decisions, get out of your comfort zone and live the fullest now that we can. Living, laughing, crying, loving, getting angry, being wrong, losing and winning. All are the things that sooner or later can disappear. There is no joy without pain. I mean, he's actually right about that. And perhaps everything has a price. The question I ask you is, what do you want to keep? What do I want to keep? Yep. Would you rather stay and cling to the pain? Run away forever from something as human as that? Or would you rather take your chances and live? With the good and the bad. And you? What is your answer? I don't know. Doubt is human too, isn't it? But after having lost everything and also being alone in this chaotic world, I'd say I prefer to hold on to the good things. Maybe a part of my insistence on you would be that. In using my time here to remember me. To make your world and the way you see it or even live it better. Thanks to the time we spent together. You're a pretty strange person. Has anyone ever told you that? I can be, yeah. But I like it. I like the way you are. It may be that beneath that mundane appearance, there is someone quite virtuous and profound. Of course, of course. Oi, wait! Is that good or bad? She laughed as she covered her mouth. Just kidding, Edgar. But thank you. As you say, I feel that every time I talk to you, you open my eyes a little more. It's a pleasure to do so. And also part of my job, I seem to remember, but whatever, that's not important right now. I'm gonna say, how can I help you? Listen, Serena, yes? I can understand why you think and see everything in such a pessimistic way, but I wish there was something I could do to help you. To remove that veil of sadness from your eyes. so that you can see things in a different way, more, I know, happy. How can I help you? And why do you think I need help? Have I asked you to do anything about it? Oh, god damn it, I should have not asked that question. No? I suppose I'm a selfish creature. And although you have not asked for the help in words, your expression not you to say otherwise. Hey! She kept quiet as if she had been upset. Come on, you don't have to keep pretending you're a strong, indifferent girl. She looked away as if to avoid the subject. Alright. So from this moment on, you and I... She turned her head to look at me curiously. We'll be friends. Hey? Friends? Exactly, friends. But you'll be gone soon, and you'll leave me like the others. I won't do it. Besides, being selfish, I'm stubborn. Dude, that's actually some of my qualities as well. And I think you've missed something, Serena. You say that the others you've met, they've just gone overnight, right? Yeah, that is... And haven't you thought that maybe they weren't your friends? I mean, even if their work here have ended here, that's not a good reason to stop talking to you. Or at least for me, none of that would be a reason to forget you. I don't intend to leave, but if I did, I believe me, I would come back to visit you. You say you'd still come back to see me? Of course, because we are friends now. Her expression turned from evasive to slightly nervous. Maybe I was finally convincing her to open her heart. Come on, miss. Drop that cold armor at once and give me your hand. But... if I do that, the pain will be even stronger. I don't want to end up broken into 1,000 pieces. We all start out broken from the very beginning of our existence. Let at least one of my hugs put some of your pieces back together again. Ooh. Okay. Trust me. I extended my hand to her. I know it may be difficult for you, but we'll take this step together. I'll take responsibility. Maybe that's why I came here. She reached out her hand and placed it over mine. I lightly brought her hand to my lips and gave her a gentle kiss in imitation of loyalty to a medieval princess. Don't be afraid, Serena. It will be alright, see? I smiled from ear to ease her anxiety, which seemed to work as her frown eased. You win. You really are persistent, Edgar. It's one of my qualities. You will discover the following ones. She closed her eyes and covered her mouth to laugh with restraint. Dude, we played a sky full of stars. It would be weird for us not to talk about the stars now. Hey, Serena. Don't you think the sky is beautiful today? Yes. It definitely is. Is it always like this? Why do you ask? In the city where I used to live, you couldn't see the stars. Yeah? I mean, it's not really a good thing, but still, yeah. As confirming that it's true. It was something that grieved me because I always loved the moon. I understand. The sky has always been lit up like this here. In fact, when I was worried about something, I used to come here to walk around and contemplate them. It has always been something that relaxed me and helped me to think. What kind of undiscovered places will be up there? Will there be someone like me, looking at the same sky? These are the questions I used to ask myself as I watched them. And what question do you ask yourself at this moment when you see them? Now? I wasn't asking them anything. Rather, I was seeking comfort. Like you, I often identified with the moon. Feeling bathed in its light is magical for me. Since I am despised by the sun, I guess it makes me a creature of the night. Ah, you're right, but remember that it is on the darkest nights that the true light shines the brightest. What does this mean? You will know in time. But I didn't know what it meant either. I just wanted to impress her a bit. Alright, let's go back to mansion. I think we should get back to mansion now, before it's too late. Besides, it's getting colder out here. I can't let you get sick. I'll be fine, you don't need to worry. I'm in care of this young lady, so no retorts. I held out my hand to help her up. I'm starting to become aware of your blind insistence, so it's okay. You win. Yes. Another victory for good old Edgar. I smiled as she stood up. Let's go back. She nodded as we left the place. The return walk wasn't too long, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to talk to her further. Serena. Yes? Now I know you like to see the stars, but are there any other places you would like to see or visit? I don't know. Maybe. I'm sure that in some of your favorite books there are places that caught your attention. Yeah, there are. In that case, I'm curious to visit the sea. Going to the beach, okay. Yes, but I would like to dive deeper. But you know, I can't spend too much time in the sun and... That's not a problem. There are cloudy days and night. Instead of focusing so much on the problems, let's join forces to find solutions. We're friends now, so you're not alone. I'll talk with Ray in case we can do some special trips. Do you think I'll be able to go one day? Of course. She smiled slightly and blushed. Let's go. Well, knowing how stubborn you are, you might be able to pull it off and all. Don't hesitate, my lady. When we finally reached the entrance to the mansion, we both said goodbye. You know, I kind of appreciate your conversation today. Really? Yes. I never know what you'll surprise me with at every turn. And on the other hand, I'm grateful that you're not so quick to give up on me. Yeah, of course I'm not. Come on, how could I give up on you? Are you kidding me? Because, well, I know that sometimes it can be too unbearable. Please be unbearable. Do you believe that about yourself? Because for me, it turns out to be the opposite. It's true that you're a bit icy from time to time, but that's part of your charm. Hey? Okay, you are still a box full of surprises. Alright, miss, but now we must go and rest. Or do you want Ray to wake up from his lethargy and tell us off? Hey! I know. See you tomorrow, Edgar. Sweet dreams, Serena. I gently bow a little goodbye. I was happy to see that she was able to put on an expression other than sadness. Saying goodbye with smiles, not tears, is something that should be the norm. But in the case of Serena, I guess it never has been. And perhaps not for me either. In any case, it was time to switch off the mind and close my eyes. I said goodbye to the past and the present to face a better future. And I said goodbye to this episode. Tomorrow we are going to play Act 3, The Pain of Being Alive. That is correct. Can I save now? No, I can't. But I can now. Alright, we will continue tomorrow, seriously. That was a good episode, I think. I absolutely enjoyed some time with Serena. But we have to end it for today. If you enjoyed, as per usual, like the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We play a ton of games. You can also go to Twitch, for example, where right now at least I'll probably be streaming more often than usual. Because, well, I want to get Eula, and that pretty much sort of forces me to play the game. Because I need Primo and so on. Anywho, also Instagram, Twitter in the description as well. All of that is in the description, so if you're into that stuff, you can follow me there too. Also, of course, the game is linked in the description, so go and support the dev as well, because they made... actually, I don't know if it's one person or a group, but so... It might be one person, to be honest. So if you... But basically, if you want to support Eroraen, go and check out their other games as well. Which we'll be doing as well over here, of course, but it never hurts to play some of them yourself as well. Alright, let's end it here. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and hopefully I will also see you tomorrow too. Bye bye.